Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Wuthering Waves reaction. Today I have a small miracle, and for those who might be wondering, because this is still new to a lot of the communities I cover for, I have to be on medically required vocal rest for about a week. So my next Wuthering Waves video should be fine, but for this one I need to really take a step back on my energy levels. There's a whole reason why, but if you want to read more about that, go to find my community post. It's probably a few days old by now, but it's in there, I promise, and it explains everything. Either way, though, I'm going to be a little bit more down on the energy to avoid causing any damage, so without further ado, let's go! Okay, we're getting an idol song. Should have guessed as much from the thumbnail.
Isn't it so incredible?
I like how they hung on that one chord.
The same time and space in your eyes. The stars look like thousands of bright stars. I have gazed at for thousands of time. And they always lead
Okay.
to stay right. With the truth to be your guiding light. Let your curiosities take to speak.
Definitely doesn't sound like a standard idol song, though.
Lonely night surprised to see our dreams glowing brightly. Every second is worth it. You better look on the road. Someone did the
Perfect amount of kick.
the stream of shimmering daily moments. Read your way to my soul and stop me
It's a
from
great,
drifting
like,
in
energy
my feet.
brought into the chorus. I was worried they were gonna, like, miss how much it needed, but they did it. Forced the cross over to the ride symbol.
Like diamonds, you need a light.
Ooh, okay.
I was a shadow until you looked my
I love it when they play with stuff like that.
windows I held inside got kissed by sunshine. Not a campfire of flowery skies.
It's giving that, like,
In my heart.
late 2000s pop rock sound. Like mid-2000s Kelly Clarkson-esque. Oh, it didn't go to the ride this time. Oh, got a solo, that's why. Small solo. Kind of interesting doing the chorus twice in a row like that with such a small gap. Fucking cool. Okay, I guess YouTube broke. I'm going to try and splice this with another video. Maybe that'll work? Okay, I went back a little bit. Had to find a different video. I don't know what happened there. I'll be real with you. We can all blame YouTube together. The safe assumption is that the song is basically done. But that doesn't mean that's the case. some vocalizing. That's different. Beautiful vocalist. God, get up there, girl. Damn. I stand by that Kelly Clarkson comment. Jesus. Great song. If YouTube didn't crash in the middle, it would have been a slightly better experience, but I'm not blaming the song for their incompetence. All right, so what this song does very well, and I'm not trying to lead into like what it doesn't do well, because honestly, the whole song is pretty good. But what this song does immediately well is be a pop rock song. It uses the key of F, which is super uplifting. It has plenty of ability to keep pulling you upward in that fashion. It's just a very progressive sort of key, and they always use that in pop rock because that's the vibe pop rock wants to have, something that is uplifting and progressive to the listener. So what they do for this one is something very familiar. They use the same chords like basically every pop rock song does: B flat, F, C, and D minor. Not specifically in that order, but in general, I think it goes like an E minor, F, B flat, C, and that's just kind of going up and then back down. And that kind of just becomes a full circle moment for the C and the D minor because those two are right next to each other, so you're able to keep that circle going. It's just a very consistent sound and it works well for this sort of thing. But they also throw in a lot of curveballs, and we will get to those. But again, I just like that they stuck with kind of the familiarity of it all. Very popular one, and then they do have A in here, and actually a G minor, I think, which is a little bit more weird, but there's something even weirder and funny in a way, because I just talked about this like yesterday. There was a song by Millie that does something, if not the exact same thing here, where it goes from a C as a transitional, it uses the D flat to step up into the D minor there, so it goes, might even be the full chords. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of hard to tell in the mix of all the other music, but that whole step up thing happened in a Millie song, and I just thought that was kind of a funny coincidence. But doing that makes sense, especially when we're talking about the exact same thing I just did about keeping that cyclical energy moving and keeping the song wrapping back into that D minor. Having that half step is very useful for that because it brings you with it as the listener. It's a subtle thing. It's literally one note, maybe two notes difference out of just going, but it adds just a quick little moment for your brain to kind of process that we're moving to the next chord. And especially in a transitional moment like what happens during this song, it feels that much better. And that other cool part I was going to talk about is how the chorus kind of plays with the expectations of the chord progression. It doesn't stay doing the thing that I just talked about. It builds on that by going down into that A and also an A minor. And what that does is basically create like a stairway of sorts where you're going up one note of the chord every single time, just obviously within the key and within the variance. So there's this point right at the end of the chorus when it's trying to transition back into either the bridge or the next verse, where it gets rid of what it was doing before and it drops down into the G minor, and it's like, oh, that's a weird one. We haven't had that yet. It was a completely new chord to the song. And then they step up by bringing it to the A minor, B flat, and then C. So you can hear how this sounds just on its own. That literally it's a line. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And now you have this like true like string pulling you along like a mime. It's just like, come here. And it just works for the musical language of trying to bring you into that next emotional change. And of course we do go back into the normal chords after that, but that's the beauty of music. You can change things around even just for one quick moment right before a transition, right during a transition, that brings the listener with the song, because you're about to change the subject. You're about to go back to the verse. Once the chorus is done, you can always just kind of go, okay, let's just keep going on the exact same chords, but that will get tiring and boring. That's why pre-choruses exist and why these sorts of transitional bridges exist, especially in the music for this one. Just having that quick step up feels so much more satisfying than just sticking with the exact same thing we've had up to that point. Even going down to the A, it doesn't quite have that same feel. Even that one note doesn't have that same transitional power as just going all the way down, introducing a new chord, kind of shifting up the expectation of our mind, and then moving back into that end on the cyclical C that goes straight into that D minor again. This is exactly what music should be in theory, and that's why the song works so smoothly. There's not a single damn thing in this song that feels like it is out of place, nothing that feels like it's not lining up with another one, and there are songs that happens. There's songs that just kind of hit this moment of, okay, well, I don't know what else to do with this. Let's just jump back into the exact same bandwagon we've been following. It's safe, go for that. But what I like about this is that it changes the expectation of the rise into that new thought, and it just makes everything feel a little bit more impactful at the end of that chorus. Now, as for the lyrics and vocals, I think the lyrics to start out are just exactly what they need to be. They're nothing to write home about. They're doing their job, they're telling the story, they're doing it in character, and that's about it. That's all you really need most times, honestly. For a lot of these games, you really don't need that grand metaphor sitting there and taunting you. You just need a song that reflects the character and the moment that they're talking about, reflecting the story beats that they've just dealt with, and is kind of wrapping everything up. And that's exactly what these do. I really don't think there's much else to say about them, but the vocalist, though. I don't know who the hell Fleet Snowfluff is. What kind of stage name is that? It sounds like a VTuber, but I couldn't find anything about this person. But like, where did you come from? A gorgeous voice. Like an absolutely breathtaking performance. Like the vocal control, the little vocal runs, everything about the quality of her voice was just so nice and comforting. Like I was listening to this just smiling the whole time, and at times I was like in a daze because I was just enjoying myself this whole time. And it was mostly because of her voice. The song, like I said, as far as the instrumental goes, very well done. I like what they were doing with the chord progression. Even the drums and such were doing little interesting things with the fills. I like when they just like take the time to go to the ride cymbal, for example. I always love that. Nothing that's too special there, but I just enjoy it as a drummer. It's like, oh yay, break up the monotony of using the hi-hat all the time. But there's also just like those little fills that they did, those transitional fills, like that one spot where it had like that break fill. Ooh, just mess around with it a little bit. But I think most of my enjoyment from this song came from the vocalist and her performance. Did a fantastic job. I have nothing else to say about it other than beautiful fucking work. Absolutely getting my applause there. Just gorgeous. I don't know why or how I haven't heard of this vocalist before. I'm assuming they're either very local to the country that they're in and I just haven't heard of them, or they're just somebody kind of too far adjacent from what I do that I haven't come across their name yet, which is a bummer because Jesus Christ, what a beautiful voice. But my throat is starting to get a little bit raspy here, so I'm going to call it. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I am sorry about the voice thing. This is purely due to some medical reasonings, and like I said, you can go read up on that on the community tab if you want to, but otherwise, this should be back to normal in about a week, so no real big worry, nothing dangerous is happening, it's just preventative, so I'm going to stick with it for a few more days and hope things level out. But if you have another song you want me to get to from Wuthering Waves, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!